Oh, this is some Houston shit, I can tell. This is some Houston shit, man. I could tell, man. They are rinsing niggas' pockets in Houston. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. Everybody got a iced out chain. You heard a nigga. This is not even a regular session he in. He said, I paid to be on stage. The fuck? These niggas said, I paid to have my section on the stage. Now, W to him, man, tell little baby and his crew, eat a dick, nigga. Like, nigga, I ain't moving, nigga. Or he should have probably told me, yo, I paid $2,000 for the section. If y'all refund me my money, I get, give me that plus $1,000. I get the fuck up on out of it. We got 3 bucks for y'all right now on the other side of the world. No, you gotta understand. The niggas paid to be on stage. What's this guy's name? I feel like I've seen him before. What's his name? I'm pretty sure he has like an explanation of why or what ended up happening, because we only have like a very short clip. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not Lil Baby's fault. It's the promoters. The promoters are overselling these joints. These days, if you go to the club, it's basically, if you're not in a section, you're a fucking bum. Like, don't even go to the section. Don't even go to the club if you don't have a section these days. So I gotta imagine the promoter is overselling. Sometimes they oversell thinking that, you know, some people's not gonna show up, or they oversell and then a celebrity wants to pop out and they want to, like, you know, they all want to look cool next to the celebrity, and that's when problems happen, right? Let me see. Yeah. Y'all know this nigga's name? What's his name? His name is Mike Adelabu. Let's see. Maybe he addresses this. Is he on YouTube or something? Mike Adelabu. Oh, he's one of the 20v1 niggas. Those are the niggas getting money these days, chat. These 20v1 niggas, because all they do is get million views on every video. Let's see. So this is the video he uploaded. Oh, he just reposted it. Is he gonna address it or not? Oh, sorry. He's about just okay. Okay. Let's hear what's going on with Lotto and Cardi B, man. So, did Lotto drop some new music? People are saying that she dissed Cardi B. I'm wondering why she would diss Cardi B, though. Don't they have a song together? They have a song that I like together. Put it on the flow. I like that song. Anyway, they said Lotto responded to Cardi B rant in her new album track, Give Me That. What was the rant? Cardi B tweeted out, I was ranting and hot at the moment, but I fuck with Lotto heavy. Oh, that's when Cardi B said to somebody, man, I ain't no Lotto ass bitch. Yeah, I forgot she said some shit like that, right? Cardi B mentions Lotto. Yeah. She had somewhere she mentions Lotto. I can't remember what it was. This is it, right? This is it. Oh, this was her versus. What? This is when she said she would beat up Ice Spice. What she said? Why you wanna ask dumb? Why you wanna ask dumb? I really don't know. You don't know? I'ma show ya. I'm not Lotto. I'ma beat her the fuck up. I'ma knock her the fuck out. Oh shit. Oh yeah. I'ma beat her ass. I'ma get right and beat up by my niggas. Y'all better see what the fuck is up. You think I'm fucking pussy ass Lotto? Bro, I'm gonna fucking show ya. She said, you think I'm pussy ass Lotto? Yeah, Lotto. Bro, I'm gonna fucking show ya shit that she said. Because y'all know exactly what the fuck that they said. Go on the phone right now. Go on the phone right now. Go on the phone right now. She's about to do this Empire State Joint. Yeah, she's about to get, she in New York? She in New York? Gotta link up. Yo, Cardi ready to scrap. Gotta link up. Where y'all at? Where y'all niggas is at? Nah, Cardi a real blood, man. Alright, let's hear Lotto supposedly responding back to Cardi. And by the way, she did respond, like, so Cardi had said, I was ranting and hot at the moment, but I fuck with Lotto heavy. I respect everything about her, including her team. That's so sweet. And nope, I'm not too prideful to apologize to someone I really respect. So this is my public apology, and now I'm gonna privately buy her back. So she basically said, "Hey, that was a private conversation that I said that Lotto was pussy in, and I was ranting because I was mad at Ice Spice. I wanted to beat Ice Spice's ass up, and my bad. And you know what, Lotto, I love you. I'm gonna buy you back." So apparently Lotto responds to that. Let's hear what Lotto responds.
Well, let's talk. Really got a Hermes throwing my closet. Talking about buying big mama a bag. My nigga ain't already bothered. My nigga ain't coming off racks. Big bank over here, big fat. Wish a bitch would get in that booth. I'm calling up Playboy Mac. Well, let's talk. Really got a Hermes throwing.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna keep it a bean though. Let me see. I like Lotto rapping, and I do like Cardi rapping too. I got both of these women close. I hope that they're not beefing. But if they did, start dropping tracks at each other, I got this being a close matchup. I like both of them. I like they both be popping their shit. I like both of them. I will say though, Cardi a different animal, man. I really think Cardi beat bitches up. Like Cardi's just different. You know what I mean? Like Cardi a whole brim out here, man. She not playing fair. But if this was a musical competition, I got it close. I got it close. I got it close. By the way, salute to Lotto, man. She can't stop bragging about, she won't let y'all niggas know that 21 Savage her man. You feel what I'm saying? She was like, yo, nigga, I don't need your bag, nigga. The fuck? My man got me the whole closet filled with them shits.
My closet. Talking about buying big mama. Really got a Hermes throwing my closet. Talking about buying big mama a bag. My nigga ain't already bothered. My nigga ain't coming off racks. Big bank over here, big fat. Wish a bitch would get in that booth. I'm calling up Playboy Mac.
Is that an invitation to rap battle? Now I'm gonna keep it a beat with you. If I'm Cardi, I'm not rap battling none of y'all chicks. I think Bia, she shouldn't rap battle. JT, she shouldn't rap battle. Don't rap battle none of them. Yo, Cardi B got too big of an audience. Like, she don't got nothing in the game. If I'm her, the only person I would rap against is Nicki. And I don't think she can rap against Nicki. So, don't rap against nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I know y'all gonna probably not look at it the same way, but these days, you gotta look at who's the A side in these situations. It's not in the favor of Cardi B to rap with Lotto. Lotto's not that big of an artist compared to Cardi B. Lotto isn't a slouch. But what you gonna do? Turn your audience and pipe her up if she get the best of you in the battle? Fuck no. So if I'm Cardi B, I'm not even rapping with her. Actually, if I'm Cardi B, hey, I just let it be. You know why? It wasn't that disrespectful. You the one who kind of kicked it off. You had to imagine a response. I don't think the response was too crazy. You gotta eat this one. You gotta just let it go. You gotta let it go. So yeah, Lotto got some disses, man. I know she just gave birth. Is her album out? Maybe it is. Is her album out? Big Mama. Oh, it dropped 2 days ago. It dropped 2 days ago. Did his Daily Double come up with the first week looking like? By the way, if you don't know, chart update, Drake was #1 second week in a row. And also BT was #7, Maid of Honor #8. I'm wondering for the upcoming charts, what is going to be the thing? So look at Spotify for a lot of numbers. Actually, I can see it right here. I'm trying to see the numbers for Lotto. Let's see. No, nothing. Forget the Lotto. Lotto got to do like 70K, right? What's Lotto's range? Like 70K? Oh, okay. Big Mama by Lotto receives 1.8 million unfiltered streams. Is that the first day? No, that's the second day. What was the first day? Like it was about 3 million. I gotta do the math on them numbers because like I'm too used to. We've been talking about Drake numbers too much. So like when I'm seeing 1 point something million, I'm like, what the fuck? Like I forgot that shit. Maid of Honor still doing more than that, right? Like look, Maid of Honor doing 5 mil. Lotto just dropped. But you know, it's Iceman season. We all know, what that is. You know. Okay, so first day streaming, right? Yeah, so first day streaming is 2.9 million. Wow. It's kind of low. Not gonna lie. How much streams did Cardi B get first day? Cardi first day streams. How many for her album? Oh, and only Drake doing over 100 mil? Okay, so Cardi B did 14 million. And Cardi B ended up doing like 200,000, right? Okay. So Cardi B did 14 million. Lotto did 3 million. I think a 50K. I think a 50K is gonna be the thing, right? 50K. I think if Lotto does 50K, 50 to 60, 50 to 60 would be fine, right? Now, the thing with her streams too is that she already has some songs that's been out, like some of these songs been out. Like for example, Business and Personal, that been out. The Glorilla song, that been out. But these other songs, you're trying to see what's gonna pop off. Right now, the leading song is her with her man, 21 Savage. It's called Hostage. And then Anxious. Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Cardi B, I'm not responding. Respectfully. I'm not finna help you sell your album. Respectfully. If I'm Cardi B. But I do think it's a toss-up if they actually engage. Toss-up. Alright. Now, we didn't cover All-Star JR. So, All-Star JR caught like 2 separate charges. Well, actually, he caught new charges, but these are state charges. If you don't know, All-Star JR has been hit with a new charge in the Ben 10 shooting. First of all, he was charged federally with gun possession by a felon. And now the state has decided to indict him or actually charge him by saying that he has now caused great bodily harm with paralysis or something of the sort. So that's one of the new charges. They're charging him for paralyzing NBA Ben 10. Now, here's a problem with that. How could this guy be getting all the charges and he was the one robbed? Now, according to the feds, they're also confirming that NBA Ben 10 has suffered irreversible paralysis. Okay? And they said he suffered irreversible paralysis in the shooting. And he's now facing I'm talking about All-Star JR, he's facing a felony charge for aggravated assault and with a amplification of traumatic brain or spinal injury. This charge is a Texas state court charge. It was announced last week. The case is actually listed inactive. They're claiming that the shooting resulted in irreversible paralysis from Ben 10, and said that the authorities learned from Ben 10's medical team that he sustained a spinal injury as a result of the shooting that has left him without sensation from the waist down. His prognosis, the complaint continued, is irreversible paralysis of the lower extremity. So the doctors in this particular case are saying that they don't expect for Ben 10 to walk ever again, and they think that the paralysis will continue and won't be reversed. He said different. He's actually, posted a video where he's basically kind of trying to show that he's having some type of movement. This is what he said.
I thought he was other nigga.
What up, cuz? What up, now? Got Pistol P with me. And we got Pooh with me. Too. I'm going through this situation right now, but we still thinking it up. We got 50 with me. I put a 30.
That motor on that scooter or wheelchair, you got is crying out for help, man. Put some oil in that thing, After that, he also wiggled his toes. I don't know if you guys seen that one, but he was showing that he does have some sensation. Yeah, he's moving it, right? Somebody says my cousin been paralyzed for 10 years and he could do the same shit. What? What the fuck? So what happened to all the trolls now? This is great to hear. Can't take your blessing for granted. Someone said Brick Baby was paralyzed and learned to walk again. It's actually pretty common. Someone said, well, he did wiggle him toe. Someone said just spasm, buddy ain't walking again. Oh. Anyway, let me try to call Dogface. Dogface claimed he had some information. I wanted to catch up with him.
Your call has been forwarded.
We're at D&D.
Back, what's the word?
Dogface, what's going on, man? I'm on stream. I'm over here trying to cover this All-Star JR stuff. I figured you probably know a little bit more than me. I don't know if you have time to talk, do you?
I got time.
Okay, so I want you to put us up on game on what's going on. I'm kind of a little bit thoroughly confused. I haven't still gotten the criminal complaint for this new charge he caught, but he caught a state charge for aggravated assault, causing paralysis to the spine or some nervous damage. What is going on? Especially, I thought we all were on the understanding that he was getting robbed, and a lot of people thought this was going to be self-defense, but it looks like not only the feds are coming at him with a charge of having a gun, he's now being charged with a shooting. How come none of these things are reflecting the story we're hearing that he was getting robbed and maybe other people have the gun? What's going on?
The magic question is, how come none of the things that are happening from a legal perspective are reflective of what we saw taking place on that video? That is the magic question. That is it. That is all. I have a couple of theories based on just knowing the legal system and having a bird's eye view of what's going on here. I talked to JR 4 days ago, and we were all surprised at the state. So the aggravated assault charge is a state charge, not fed. So let's just back up for a second. What normally happens when the feds move in and take over a case. Everything surrounding whatever that particular thing is becomes federalized. Like, for example, the feds moved in and they charged JR initially with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Well, what normally happens is that anything involving or surrounding the firearm, any incident, any case, whether it's a robbery, whether it's a shooting, the whole thing normally becomes federalized, not just the felon in possession of the firearm part. So we were surprised the state picked it up because the feds had an opportunity to examine everything that happened in its totality. The feds had an opportunity to examine the assault that took place. They had an opportunity to examine the robbery that took place. They had an opportunity to examine everything. They talked to multiple people. They eventually talked to JR. They wanted JR to tell them where the gun came from. He does not know where it came from. He was being robbed and assaulted by multiple people.
Okay, so do you believe that the feds are kind of trying to, they want him to cooperate somewhat or give them some information?
Well, that is as it specifically relates to the being a felon in possession of a firearm. This whole state thing, this is an overreach of epic proportion and of extreme magnitude. Because like I just said, let's back up for 1 second. When the feds move in to take over a case, they take over the whole thing. The feds moved in, they had an opportunity to examine everything that happened that night at confessions in its totality. They interviewed people, they have the video footage inside the restaurant, they have innocent bystander video footage, they have the video footage from the parking lot outside. They know what happened. They know that Jay Prince Jr. did not arrive late to a party that was already ongoing. They know that. They know that OG3 and his whole entourage were at Atlantic Oceans, and that's where he was enjoying himself for his birthday celebration. They know that the whole theory that Jay Prince Jr. arrived late to a party that was already ongoing, they know that's not true. So let's look at the felon in possession of a firearm. The feds charged him with felon in possession of a firearm.
Yeah.
Right? The state moved in, and I'm gonna blow your fucking mind as we start to talk about this shit in more detail. 3 people got shot. Ben 10, Danny and Ron, and an innocent bystander got hit in the ass. But yet All-Star JR, Ben 10, Danny and Ron got his fucking index finger blew off. Why aren't the feds charging him with all 3 shootings? There's 3 people that got hit, Danny and Ron, Ben 10, and an innocent bystander who was unnamed. Why isn't he charged for all 3 on the state level?
Do you think that they're looking at the fact that Ben 10 is paralyzed and
No, they're not. See, listen, that's another funny thing. Normally, when you talk about injury or when you talk about somebody getting shot, bro, what happened and the injuries they suffered, that really comes out in trial, either pre-trial or trial itself. The fact that they articulated the fact that he suffered paralysis, that's something that comes out in discovery. That's something that comes out when we go to trial, where it's like a mitigating circumstance. Because whether he was shot and killed, or whether he was shot and is not paralyzed, all that information would come out in trial. All these things are being introduced, in my opinion, to try to sway public opinion against them. Because now we have people who you don't have a shooting, you don't have a gun without first having All-Star JR being assaulted and robbed. That's first. And even in the initial criminal complaint from the Fed level, they said that in the criminal complaint where they charged him with being a felon in possession of a firearm, it articulated inside the criminal complaint that while being assaulted and robbed, he came into possession of a firearm, didn't say where it came from, didn't say who initially had it, didn't say he had it, didn't say Ben 10 had it, didn't say Ron had it, didn't say OG3 had it, didn't say anything. It just says he came into possession of a firearm and he shot somebody while being robbed. When you back up even further and go to the night that it happened, when the officer did the press conference outside, the older white guy, who did a press conference outside, right, All-Star JR wasn't there. So all the information that was gathered and that police officer talked about during that initial press conference the night that it happened, all that information came from innocent bystanders or onlookers or one of the NBA members themselves, because All-Star JR was nowhere Sr. has put his hand on the scale because if the feds didn't pick up the assault part of the crime, because this is all one continuous thing. So All-Star JR being a felon in possession of a firearm, that's not a singular event. He was a felon in possession of a firearm, and then that firearm caused great bodily injury. The issue is, did he have the right legally to possess it and use it? So people are saying, well, he went one step too far. Okay, going one step too far, it has nothing to do with whether he initially had the right to possess it. And if he did have the right to possess it, we can argue and we can haggle and we can debate about whether he went too far. But when you look at it from the initial vantage point, when you look at it, he was being robbed. When you look at it, he was being assaulted. None of that has been taken into consideration. How the fuck is Danny and Ron and the rest of the fucking stupid ass NBA demons, how the fuck are none of them charged with a robbery or assault? Because you don't have a gun. You don't have a shooting without first having All-Star JR being victimized on camera by a group of motherfucking penis in hell.
Well, maybe he has to make a statement. Is he gonna make a statement?
Hey, listen, academics, they have it on camera, brother.
No, I hear what you're saying, but a lot of times when
But
we're
of course
talking
they
about,
do. Yes, they do want him to make a statement. They want him to confirm what they already see. We know how the feds work. We know how it's not even just the feds. That's how law enforcement works in general. Even though they have video footage showing what took place, they want him to confirm. He can't. But what do you want him to confirm? You want him to confirm where it came from? He does not know where the gun came from. He wasn't looking around to see who had what. He was being hit about the head, neck, shoulders, back. He was knocked to the ground. He was stuck, kicked. People were picking up chairs and trying to hit him upside the fucking head. He don't know where it come from. All he know is that he heard somebody say, "Get that gun, get that gun, grab that gun." He looked over a peripheral vision and he saw the gun and he used it to defend himself against people who were attacking, assaulting, and robbing him.
So I mean, he's missing chains, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, he missing chains and watch.
So yeah, why do you think the police don't give a damn?
Hey, listen. Your guess at this point is as good as mine. Because, like I said before, when the feds normally pick up a case, they pick up all the elements of the case. They don't just separate it. We're going to pick you up with a gun. Wait a minute. If I was wrong for having a gun to begin with, then I was wrong for using a gun. So why didn't the feds take over the entire motherfucking case? That shit is weird. So they're going to pick up a gun case, but they're going to say, oh, fuck the fact that 2 or 3 people got shot. We don't even want to talk about that. We're not going to prosecute him for that. Even though we're saying he was a felon in possession of a firearm and he wasn't supposed to have it because he was a felon, we're not going to touch, we're not going to talk about, we're not going to prosecute him for all the violent acts that took place with the firearm. We're going to let the state of Texas pick it up. What? That shit. Listen, I don't give a fuck if a motherfucker is a jailhouse lawyer or if a motherfucker graduated from Howard or USC with a law degree. None of this shit makes sense. It all stinks to high hell.
Hey, so what I was actually thinking, I was thinking that the reason why they haven't locked up Ben 10 of them, they're in another investigation that would require them to stay free right now.
What? What kind of investigation is that? Are you saying federal informants?
No.
Because I thought.
I'm saying it could be a racketeering thing. It could be something ongoing. We've seen it in situations, obviously, like the feds usually do different than the state, but let's look at what happened in Memphis. Big Jook, they didn't pick Big Jook up immediately. Like, he was pretty much part of the larger thing. Also, let's look at King Von. King Von, a lot of people felt like they shouldn't have dropped the case on statewide when it came to the whole thing with the shooting in 2019. That was when it picked up by the feds. Actually, they're trying to put it on dirt now again. So sometimes they allow someone to be free because maybe they got a bigger investigation going on, and you locking them up now for this, granted it is a charge, but it might fuck up the larger scale investigation. That's the only thing I could think. Like, if it's on camera, robbery should be pretty clear as day. The guy came with chains. He don't got chains at the end. At that point, what are we talking about? Like, it shouldn't take this long, right?
So what you said was that's plausible, which means it could be, right? It could be the case. However, so even if that was, what the feds were thinking as they were proceeding, why then charge JR with anything? Why not just leave it in limbo?
Because they need JR to get statements to get that conviction.
Okay, so the only statements that JR has made is, right? The only statements that he's made is, I don't know. I used the gun to defend myself. He said that in rap videos. He said that in the Instagram post. And he said them. He doesn't know where the gun come from. He can't pinpoint where it came from because he doesn't know. Like I said, when you really look at the video, he was not looking around. He was confronted by multiple people. See, the one thing that people are trying to say is, well, he was attacked. He was jumped on by 5 or 6 people. Hey, listen, he was confronted by a mob of people, men and women. When he started to get attacked, he didn't know how many people had jumped in, and we know women nowadays can jump in and do shit too. We dealing with a bunch of midnight fucking marauders who from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who some country neck bone, pickle pig feet eating ass niggas. So he didn't know. He wasn't counting 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indians. He was being attacked by a mob of people. He doesn't know where the gun comes from. He couldn't tell them where it came from if he wanted to because he doesn't know. He was ducking, trying to protect himself, trying to protect his jury. That's it. He doesn't know where it came from. So if you're gonna make a statement about that statement, I don't know where it came from. I saw it on the ground, I picked it up, not used it to cut the bitches down. That's it. That's all.
So what could probably also be is not only about the gun, it could be about the sequence of events leading to it, right? So if they needed to say, okay, who did you have a confrontation with or a conversation with? Who said what to you? Okay, who hit like identify the people who's on the video, right? Because remember, if a lot of people start scattering, right? Nobody's stuck around, so when the cops come around, we need somebody to do some identification. So now they need you to do
the first person who wasn't around was him. So I get it. They need him to give them his rendition of what took place from the beginning to the end, from the point when he initially came in contact with the mob of people. I get that. The whole thing is all that's on camera. It is on camera that Jay Prince Jr. met up with the NBA squad outside the confessions. They were out there talking for 10 minutes before they all walked in together. So that destroys Jay Prince Jr.'s initial statement on Instagram when he says that he arrived late to a party. OG3's birthday celebration was the party that was already ongoing at confessions. OG3's birthday party was not at confessions. It was at Atlantic Ocean. We have the video footage. We have the video surveillance footage we have the footage. We've acquired it. We have people who are down with them who don't like what's happening. We have people who are down with mob ties
and
NBA.
They might just need like, just some context to be like, okay, what were y'all arguing about? Right? Like, just like these questions is gonna help set up the motive and this and third. And if they're not getting that cooperation from All-Star JR, they might be like, all right, we're gonna have to kind of force your hand in a way because, okay, let's see if you don't want no justice for you get robbed because, well, we could charge you. So, like, some way, somehow, somebody's going down. You can only help yourself by cooperating. Your case can go bye-bye. But, you gotta get somebody.
Okay, so academics, listen. Let's all imagine. Let's get rid of our black skin. And let's all jump into white bodies. Right? If All-Star JR was white, whether he was a rapper or not, they would be singing his praise for defending himself against some ruthless fucking attackers, bro. It's as simple as that. Texas is a stand your ground state. So when it comes to not knowing or not having an understanding of what's going on, they know what happened because not only do they have the footage from the onlookers who provided the footage that we all seen, that footage didn't come from the restaurant. The restaurant footage, the law enforcement has the restaurant footage as well. And it is crystal fucking clear from beginning to end. There's footage by the elevator, there's footage outside in the parking lot, there's footage that's more clearer than what we have saw. What we have been able to see is the footage from one of the onlookers who were filming it with their cell phone. But the restaurant had surveillance cameras as well. So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just simply saying that what you're saying does not make sense. And it doesn't take a legal scholar to be able to say, interviewed him from the restaurant. And don't forget, there was an innocent person who had nothing to do with it at all. Was it NBA? Was it Mob Ties? Was it RJR who got hit as well? They interviewed that person as well. So listen. So let's move forward to what has to be true. What we know is true at this point. NBA being 10 made a statement and said the gun was All-Star JR's. All-Star JR said, I don't know where the gun came from. That's where the initial charges came from to begin with, because NBA Ben 10 said that was All-Star JR's gun.
So wait, so you think Ben 10 told?
Ben 10 cooperated with the feds. Ben 10 was sitting in the hospital. If you think that, listen, if you think, so they're in there eating grits and eggs, and he getting a facial, and he getting a haircut, he's doing all this shit. You think the feds ain't come up in there? You think HPD ain't up in there? He was in the hospital down there a month. You think that no member of law enforcement, local, state, or federal law enforcement, came in there to interview that motherfucker? And if so, why did he? We know they did. It's a fact they came up in there. So why did he tell us about that? Why did he say the feds came in here and questioned me and I ain't telling shit? He didn't even mention it because he had been talking to the feds the whole fucking time. That's why. You know, listen, bro. You're the king of motherfucking rock when it comes to this shit. You're the king of rock. Period. Simple as that. And everybody fucking know it. That's why everybody's trying to fucking attack you, trying to knock you off your fucking throne. You're a wise man. You know that there's no way that he's sitting in that hospital 3.5 weeks to a month, and no member of law enforcement came in there and questioned him. He didn't say any member of law enforcement came in there. He didn't say, yeah, the feds came and questioned me, and I ain't tell him shit. That would have been some gangster shit if he would have said that, but he didn't even mention that he had been questioned, and you and I both. And you know it, I know it, and God know it. There's 3 motherfucking chat know it. There's 4 motherfuckers. Me, you, God, and chat know the feds came in there to talk to him, to question him about what the fuck happened, bro. He didn't say anything to us about the feds questioning him. You know why?
No. All right. That makes sense. You're right. It makes sense. But it's not on him to tell us what the feds think. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure he's not trying to help out All-Star JR, and he's not in cuffs yet. So it's not on him to be like, yeah, the feds came in here just letting you know I didn't say nothing.
Well, so here's the whole thing. And hey, academics, bro. In the world we live in now, with how stupid these motherfuckers are, bro. Right? Listen, they say time is the best judge of whether something was right or wrong. They say nothing beats time when it comes to figuring out whether somebody was right or wrong. Right? When you look at everything that happens after that, when you look at him going back to his town where they're supposed to be the kings of their city, you think about how he was targeted by his own people who lined him up to get shot. Listen, bro, we're not dealing with proper thinking human beings. So I think the mistake that people are making is that you're trying to judge what is most likely to have happened when you're looking at it through the lens of somebody who's a reasonably intelligent person. We're dealing with people who graduated from the 2nd grade and dropped out. We're dealing with motherfuckers who mama let them smoke and drink weed at 3 years old. You're not dealing with normal human beings, bro. We're dealing with savages. We're dealing with fucking savages. These motherfuckers are not even fucking human, bro. I dare say they're not even from this fucking planet, bro. Look at all this crazy shit happening. The feds never questioned him. Law enforcement never questioned him. Nobody questioned him. He just shot. And now the whole world, and even the media, especially the media in Texas, the media is trying to cast him as if he's a fucking victim. No, bro. You just...
Are you talking about Ben 10?
Yeah, you're trying to cast these niggas like they're victims. Hey, no, listen. If I try to steal your car right now, and you shoot me while I'm trying to steal your car, even though I'm shot, even though I'm the one injured, that does not make me a victim. It makes me a person who got shot in the commission of a fucking felony, bro. It doesn't make me a victim. For all the press coverage, especially coming out of Texas, right? Everything, people are, all the talking points, he was a victim, he was this, he got paralyzed. So fucking what? He got paralyzed because he was robbing and jumping on somebody that he didn't know about a girl. About a girl that he didn't know. He didn't have a problem with All-Star JR. All-Star JR did not know NBA. He didn't know none of them. He didn't know OG3. He didn't know Daddy and Ron. He didn't know Ben 10. He didn't know them niggas. He didn't have no issue with any of them.
Hey, so it's looking like, because All-Star JR might not have the connection. It looks like he might be, it's not looking good for him. He has the least connections out of everybody in this whole situation. And look
Wait a minute now. I want you to know that you are crossing over into dangerous territory because you are listen, back up. Hold on. I guess it was because he's not from Texas, because he's not plugged in, because he has the least amount of connections, because Jay Prince Jr. is tied into Mob Ties, which is tied into Rap a Lot, which is tied into his daddy, Senior. And the NBA cats are tied into the long money of NBA Youngboy. You're saying that justice is not blind, and you're saying that somebody with money and power has put their finger on the scales of justice and tilted it against All-Star JR. That's what you are suggesting when you're saying what you're saying. Because if it's about on that motherfucking video, it ain't supposed to be about no motherfucking who got more political ties and connections. It's supposed to be law enforcement and the legal system is supposed to be blind. We know it's not, but it's supposed to be. And the way this whole thing is shaking out, it looks like to even a casual observer that something is not fucking right. And I am accusing Mob Ties. I'm accusing Jay Prince Sr. of putting his finger on the scales of justice. Trying to take the son and protect them stupid ass niggas that his son had do his bidding. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I'll beat the rest of guys. I definitely feel some of that's going on. I don't think that if you go to Houston and you involve yourself with the family, that law enforcement can protect you. I feel like they are favored there. I think they have influence there that's going to reach beyond where what you got. And I mean, we can tell from how the takeoff case is gone.
Jesus Christ, academics, bro. Do you realize what you are suggesting, bro? Do you understand the impact of the words that you're using right now, bro?
I mean, I think it's kind of clear. I think it's kind of clear.
Oh, yeah, I get it, though. But to hear somebody like you, to hear a person who's as well-informed and as influential as you are, to hear you even say that out loud, that shit sends chills through my spine, up and down my spine, and it should send chills through the spines of anybody who's watched this whole thing unfold. Because the shit that's transpiring is not right. The feds just don't pick up a gun. If the feds gonna step in, they're gonna pick up everything surrounding that whole case. But they only picked up the gun. Why? So if the gun was a federal offense and he was in violation of federal law because he was a felon in possession of a firearm, then everything that transpired from him having possession of the gun should have been federalized too. When does the feds split jurisdiction? When they stepped in. When does that ever happen? I'm telling you, I've been getting in trouble since Jesus walked the earth. When the feds move in, bro, they taking over the whole goddamn case and they will decide whether or not something or some aspect of the particular case surrounding the crime they stepped in on is prosecutable. They decide that. They didn't prosecute JR for shooting anybody. But the state moved in. And when the state moved in, that told me, and tells you, and it tells anybody who's watching this shit, everything you need. Jay Prince Jr. has bankrolled the political careers of state legislatures from the Senate, the Texas State Senate to the Texas House of Republicans. He's bankrolled lawyers. He's sent lawyers to school who have become prosecutors. He is the devil made manifest. And that's why everything that you see going back to the whole Big Mike situation, when they tried to do the same thing to Big Mike, they didn't want to finesse 2 times. And Big Mike wasn't bad at that shit. People forget about the shit they did to Big Mike. People forget that motherfuckers came to court and testified against Big Mike in New Orleans when he got into it with the whole Prince family and Rap a Lot, and he went to prison for arson and a couple of other goddamn things. People forgetting about this shit. They forgetting about that shit. They started the whole thing at Takeoff, then Duke the Jeweler, and now this shit reached All-Star JR. But the corruption and all the shit that's going on in the state of Texas, bro, I don't know whether to cry or clap because a black man has that much power. Because normally, having having money and influence, it does not shield you from the long arm of the law. And it looks like Jay Prince and his whole family, and anybody connected to him, they can basically, they're not Donald Trump. They can ban up, they can policy.
By the way, I've always heard that about. I've heard
YouTube. Chicks. You know what to do, Chicks. I find, I like Chicks Move. Chicks Move is somebody I really enjoy listening to on YouTube because Chick just got an intellectual curiosity about things. Hey man, Dame Dash is going through it right now, you guys. Last night at the Roots picnic, the man got this in the worst way in front of everybody. Not only that, but Dame also had to watch the members of Rockefeller reunite without him. Now, after the lineup for the Roots picnic was announced and Jay was going to be headlining, a few people actually thought that Dame would reunite with Jay-Z on stage. People said, wait, this would actually be the perfect opportunity for Dame Dash and Jay to finally squash their beef. With Dame Dash being down bad and broke right now, how fire would it be if Hov